Hello and welcome. My name is Jaclyn Johnson, and I'm the Film Lab's Unfinished Works Coordinator. Film Lab is a nonprofit that has been working to create racial and gender parity in entertainment and media since 1998. Unfinished Works is a program we provide to workshop diverse and cutting-edge new scripts and writers. The script will now be read to you via performance read by members of the Film Lab's actor directory. So please enjoy the first 41 pages of A Vietnamese Ghost Story by Kevin Tran.
Fade in. Exterior Wind House, night. The wind blows outside at the suburban neighborhoods of Orange County, California. The Wind House is neat and well maintained like most other cookie cutter homes beside it. It is very late at night. There are no cars heard, only wind. Cut to interior Wind House, hallway, continuous. The hallway is lit by a nightlight attached to the wall. Family photos align the wall. There is a school photo of Carol Wynn, 9, Vietnamese. Wedding photos of Phung and Con Wynn, 40s, Vietnamese. An old black and white photo of Phung's mother, Hao Pham, 70s, Vietnamese, as well as other photos of the family on vacation in Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon, and Niagara Falls. Suddenly, the nightlife turns off, as does all the power in the house. Cut to interior Wind House, Carol's room, continuous. A gust of wind rattles the windows. It wakes Carol, who rises in her bed, looking out the window to see a nearby tree shake violently. Her room lit only by distant moonlight. Carol reaches for a glass of water on her nightstand, but it's empty. She then notices her digital alarm clock is blank. She presses buttons on it, but there's no power. Cut to interior Wind House, hallway, continuous. Carol steps out into the dark hallway with the empty glass of water. She passes her grandmother's bedroom and looks through the partially open doorway. Hal lays asleep. She breathes through a plastic tube that leads to a large metal oxygen tank. Her bed is pushed against a wall and has guardrails from preventing her from falling. Cut to interior Wind House, kitchen, continuous. Carol turns on the tap and fills her glass of water. She takes a sip from it and looks out the window above the sink into the backyard. The yard is dark. The wind blows even harder. Carol sees a dark figure slowly climb over the fence into their side of the yard. Carol takes a step back, then runs over to the sliding glass door to get a better look. But the dark figure is gone. Carol's heart rate rises. She turns and darts back to her room. Cut to interior Wind House, hallway, continuous. Carol races to her room, but sees her parents' room at the end of the hall. The door is wide open, and Carol can see her mother and father asleep on their bed. Through the doorway and behind her parents' bed is a window where the dark figure appears from the darkness. Carol rushes into her room. Cut to interior Wind House, Carol's room, continuous. Carol jumps into bed, pulling the blanket over her head. She shuts her eyes, trembling. The wind suddenly stops. Cut to interior Wind House, Hal's room, continuous. Hal's eyes open. She raises her right arm into the air.
Long, is that you?
Cut to interior Wind House, Carol's room, continuous. Carol peeks her head out from the blanket. She sees her closet door slowly open by itself. Carol freezes.
Ma? Pa?
A gnarled, dirty hand wraps around the closet door. The dark figure creeps around. A Vietnamese man, his face bloated and pale, his clothes ripped and soaking wet. The man inches closer to Carol.
Ma! Ma!
Cut to interior elementary school, classroom, day. Carol screams in the middle of class. She jumps up, surprising the other kids next to her. The other kids are mostly white. The school teacher, Mrs. Hubble, 30s, white, turns from the whiteboard and looks at Carol. Cold beads of sweat run down her forehead.
Is everything all right, Carol?
Carol slowly realizes where she is. She's still shocked and out of breath. A group of white kids snicker, whispering to each other.
Carol was sleeping in class.
Mama!
You have a nightmare?
You need your mommy?
Cut to interior optometrist office, exam room, day. A dark room. A random assortment of letters for an eye exam are projected onto a wall. The letters are out of focus.
Do you see the letters?
Yes, but they're blurry.
A large metal contraption called a phoropter makes a clicking noise. A new lens slides into place. The letters are now more out of focus.
Okay, and now, better or worse?
Worse.
The phoropter, with its metal arms, dials, and lenses, sits in front of a teenage girl, 16, white, with acne and braces. She looks into the eye holes of the phoropter. Fung pulls levers and turns knobs that slide and adjust different lenses in front of the girl's eyes.
And now?
Better.
Fung makes a note and places another lens in front of the girl's eyes.
How about now? Better or worse?
Better.
Good.
Cut to interior optometrist office, sales room, reception. Later, the teenage girl spins a display of eyeglasses in the sales rooms. Fung writes a prescription at the reception desk and hands it to the teenage girl's mother, 40s, white.
You can take that to any eyeglass store and they should be able to get Brittany new reading glasses right away.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Nguyen.
Fung's receptionist, Sandra, 20s, Mexican, sits behind the desk. She looks up from her bookkeeping.
It's Dr. Nguyen.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. You guys have a nice day.
Fung waits for the girl and mother to leave before taking off her white optometrist uniform and collecting her belongings from a coat closet.
You know, Sandra, you don't have to correct everyone's pronunciation.
Fung, if white people can learn to say Jimenez or Kanowski, they can learn how to say Nguyen correctly.
Do you mind closing up? I have to rush to a dentist appointment before picking up Carol.
No problem, Dr. Nguyen.
Cut to exterior Fung's car, 405 freeway, day. Fung drives a white Toyota Civic on the highway from Fountain Valley to Westminster. She changes lanes and transfers onto the Golden West Highway. Cut to exterior Fung's car, Little Saigon, day. Fung passes a Welcome to Little Saigon sign. We see a text card, 2007. Little Saigon is an area in Orange County, California, where a large Vietnamese American community lives and works. Cut to exterior dentist office, Little Saigon, later. The car pulls into a parking spot at a 2-story strip mall. All the businesses, a nail salon, dollar store, and restaurants are Vietnamese owned and operated. Fung locks her car and climbs the stairs to the dentist office on the 2nd floor of the shopping mall. Cut to interior dentist office, exam room, later. The dentist, 50s Vietnamese, pulls away an observation light from Fung's open mouth.
You need a mouth guard.
What?
Your molars are impacted. You've been grinding your teeth at night.
No, I don't.
Well, your teeth tell a different story. Are you feeling stressed?
No, not at all.
The dentist pulls down his face mask and takes off his rubber gloves.
Our body holds a lot of tension that our mind doesn't realize.
Cut to exterior elementary school, Huntington Beach, day. Fung pulls up to the pickup zone at an elementary school. She waves at her daughter, Carol, who sits by herself.
You're late.
Carol trudges over to the car.
Sorry, sweetie. My dentist appointment ran long.
Interior Fung's car, Garden Grove, later. Fung drives home down a suburban street.
I miss my friends at my old school.
I know, sweetie, but this private school is the best for your future. Ba and I both worked really hard to get you into the school. It's the best in the county.
But I'm one of the only Asian kids in the entire school.
That's not true. Remember the Chings? We met Tessa and her parents at orientation.
Tessa's not even in my class. She's 2 years older than me.
You know, when our family first came to America, we lived in Indiana before we lived here. We were the only Vietnamese family there. It was really hard at first, but we did our best and got used to it. Things turned out all right, didn't it?
But then you moved here, and there's Vietnamese people everywhere.
Carol, don't talk back. Your family sacrificed so much to get you here, especially Grandma. Don't be ungrateful.
What was Vietnam like?
It was hard. Really hard. I was about your age when we left, so I don't remember all that much. There's a lot I've forgotten.
Carol ignores her mom and stares out the window. A long pause before Fung stops the car at a traffic light. Cut to exterior Wen house, day. A strong gust of wind blows as Carol and Fung get out of the car and enter their home. Cut to interior Wen house, kitchen, continuous. Auntie Kim, 60s Vietnamese, stirs a ladle in a large metal pot of bo co, Vietnamese beef stew. She skims the fat, collecting at the top of the stew, discarding it into a bowl. The front door opens and Carol runs over to hug Auntie Kim quickly before retreating to her bedroom.
Hi, Auntie Kim.
Oh, how was school?
It sucked.
Carol stomps down the hallway into her room. Auntie Kim watches her leave, then laughs with Fong as she enters.
I made your husband's favorite.
Ah, Boko. Khan will be thrilled. How was Ma today?
I just ate her dinner. She's sleeping now, but
Auntie Kim is closer, making sure Carol can't hear her.
she's getting worse.
I know. She keeps thinking Khan is my dad.
Auntie Kim turns back to skimming the fat from the stew.
I noticed she was talking long in her sleep, and how she must be thinking about those who passed. Today, she was talking to her brother, Van.
Fung looks toward her mother's room down.
She has mentioned Uncle Van.
Auntie Kim puts the ladle down and turns to Fung, smiling.
It's because your cousin, she is finally coming home from the hospital.
She is? When?
Oh, later this week? That's why your mom is thinking about her brother, Van. His only daughter is finally coming home.
Fung smiles at Auntie Kim, who turns to retrieve her purse from the kitchen counter.
You're not staying for dinner?
Oh, I have to go. I signed your Uncle D and I up in the flamenco classes.
Fung laughs, seeing Auntie Kim shuffling out the front door, dancing with an imaginary partner. As she opens the door, Auntie Kim suddenly stops and turns back.
Oh, the power went out again. Sundown and Rohan wins. Oh, you need to reset your clocks.
Cut to interior Win house room later. Fung steps into her mother's bedroom. Hao lies peacefully in her bed, her eyes closed.
Fun, is that you?
Yes, Ma.
Fung sits at a chair beside Hao's bed.
Your father, he's finally here.
Ba is gone. Ma, don't you remember?
Oh, on that board. But
Fung nods, now holding her mother's withered hand.
it takes a long time to swim across an ocean.
Ma,
Your aunt and uncle, Min and Van, then too, they're all coming back.
Hao drifts into sleep. Feng shudders and gets up. She leaves the door cracked open behind her. Cut to interior Wynn House dining room night. Feng's husband, Khan, ladles a second helping of boko onto a bowl of vermicelli noodles.
That's great about Chi.
He sits back at the table and continues dinner with Feng and Carol.
I don't even remember the last time I saw her. Maybe our wedding day?
Why is she in the hospital?
She had a really tough childhood.
I thought all refugees had it hard.
Your Aunt Chi had it worse than most of us.
Why?
Her parents passed away when we were all very young.
Because of the war?
It's a long story.
You know, Chi and your mom were born on the same day.
Really?
My brother always called us twins, even though I was a few years older.
What is your brother Min up to these days?
Who knows? He rarely visits Ma, comes and goes only for the free meals. Says he's working hard, but then will ask for money.
Feng winces a toothache in her back molar. Khan notices this.
What did the dentist say?
I need a mouth guard.
Told you so. You keep putting it off and it keeps getting worse. It's not going to go away on its own, you know.
Cut to exterior Wynn House continuous. A strong gust of wind howls outside. The power in the house goes out, as does all the lights in all other houses and street lamps on the street. We hear Feng and Carol yelp.
Oh, not again.
There's a flashlight in the drawer next to the knives.
Why do we keep the flashlight next to the knives?
Hurry, Ba! Mommy and I are afraid of the dark.
We hear Khan.
Damn it. Ugh, damn.
Hurry, honey, turn it on.
Cut to interior Wynn House bedroom later. A camping lantern lights the room. Carol sleeps in between Khan and Feng. Hao begins crying from the other room. Her cry slowly becomes loud wailing. Feng nudges Khan awake. All three lay with their eyes shut. They're used to these sounds coming from Hao.
It's your turn.
I went yesterday.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
That's right. It's your turn, Mommy.
Feng sighs and gets out of bed. Hao still crying out. Feng takes the lantern and goes down the hall. Cut to interior Wynn House, Hao's room, night. Feng puts the lantern on the floor and sits rubbing her sleepy eyes at the chair beside the bed.
No one loves me.
Mom, we all love you very much.
I'm all alone.
I'm here, Mom.
Feng holds her hand.
I'm not going anywhere. I am right here.
No one loves me. No one loves me. No one loves me.
Hao falls asleep. Feng closes her eyes. Fade to interior Uncle D's car, 22 freeway, day. Feng stares out the window in the back seat of the car. Auntie Kim's husband, Uncle D, 60s Vietnamese, drives slowly without expression in a 1980s model blue Mercedes. They're driving east towards Santa Ana.
Oh, dear. This is the exit.
I know, honey.
The car exits off the freeway. Cut to interior Uncle D's car, psychiatric hospital, later. The Mercedes pulls into the parking lot. Feng tilts her head, looking up at the ugly gray building.
Your cousin is going to be so happy to see you.
Cut to interior Wynn House, living room, day. Khan watches a Laker game on the couch while Carol sits on the floor drawing at the coffee table.
How many siblings did Grandma have?
Which one?
Grandma Hao.
You don't know? She has 4 sisters and a brother.
Khan looks over and sees Carol's color-penciled family tree.
Is this for school?
Carol nods. She has drawn her family at the bottom of the page with their names labeled above them. Khan takes a red pencil and draws a line that connects Feng to Hao.
You know them. There's Auntie Chow, Huang, Di, And then there's Auntie Kim, of course.
Khan makes a circle for each person in the family tree and writes their names above the circle.
Who's the fifth sibling? The brother.
You have a great uncle named Van, but we've never met him. He didn't make it to America like your grandpa Long.
Khan writes Van's name in and looks at Carol.
He died on the boat.
He went missing in Vietnam before your grandma and your mom came here.
Missing.
Life in Vietnam was very chaotic after the war. The communists took everyone's home and land. People were taken away into labor camps. That's why we had to leave the country.
And Auntie Chi was his daughter? Where's her mommy?
Her name was Lynn. We never met her either. I heard she passed away on the boat coming here.
Carol stares at her father writing Lynn's name on the paper.
You get now why Auntie Chi was in the hospital? She didn't grow up like you with a mommy and daddy.
Bob, did you come here on a boat?
Your daddy's family was very lucky. We were only at sea for 3 days before we saw land. Our story was nothing compared to what your mom went through. Their engine died. They were on the boat for almost a month.
Is that why she doesn't talk about it?
It's hard for her. Yes. But Grandma is still here. You should try to talk to her. She might have some stories.
The phone rings and Khan gets up to answer it. Carol stares at the circle with Van, Lynn, and Chi's name written above it.
Hello? Yes, this is Carol's father. I'm sorry. What happened in class?
Khan sees Carol get up from the coffee table and go into Hal's bedroom. Cut to interior psychiatric hospital hallway day. Auntie Kim and Fung follow Dr. Ponce, 40s, white, down a long hallway. Uncle D trails behind them, walking with his hands behind his back. Fung looks through open doors of the hospital as they walk. She catches glimpses into the sad world of the psychiatric hospital, a teenager staring at a wall while speaking to herself, a nurse helping a hysterical man from the linoleum floor, an elderly woman zoned out quietly watching television. Cut to interior psychiatric hospital, Chi's room, later. Chi, 30s, Vietnamese, stands vacantly looking out the window. She sees a bird take off from a branch across the street. Her hair is bleached and her bangs are cut low above her eyelids.
Here she is. Chi, your family's here. Are you ready to head home?
Auntie Kim bursts into tears. She hugs Chi, who stares at Fung, standing at the doorway. Fung cracks a smile, but grows uncomfortable with Chi's stares, so she averts her eyes to the floor.
Do you remember your twin cousin?
Cut to interior Wynn house, Hal's room, day. Carol enters the room and sits next to her grandmother.
Is that you?
Grandma, it's Carol.
I'm so sorry, Fung. For all I put you through, I was only trying to make you stronger.
Hal reaches out and grabs Carol's hand.
Have you seen them yet?
Seen who, Grandma?
Long. He must be so hungry. You must feed him when you see him.
Who is Long, Grandma?
Your father. Have you forgotten him? You must not forget him. I'm sorry. No.
It's okay, Grandma.
I'm sorry I hurt you.
How did you hurt me?
I wanted you and me to be successful. It was the only way I knew how.
Interior Uncle D's car, 405 highway, day. Chi and Fung sit quietly in the back of the car.
I had your uncle move all the junk out of our spare bedroom, so you have plenty of space. I'm making bun thao, and tonight you still like bun thao, right? Gee, it'll remind you of home.
Fung looks over to Chi, but she keeps staring out the window, watching street lamps fly past them. Interior, Auntie Kim's house, Chi's room, day. Fung lugs Chi's suitcase into her room.
You two relax. Now I'll start making lunch for us.
Auntie Kim leaves for the kitchen. Chi walks toward the window.
Need help unpacking?
There's a lark sparrow and an orange tree outside.
You still love birds.
Are you still afraid of the dark?
Fung shrugs and opens Chi's suitcase, unfolding and refolding her clothes, laying them neatly across her bed.
How's Min?
He's a lawyer now.
I remember he couldn't even tie his own shoes. Now he's a lawyer.
It's so nice to see you, Chi. You should come over for dinner later this week. Con hasn't seen you in ages, and you've never even met Carol.
You know, when I was little, my mom and dad always compared me to you. Maybe because we always shared birthdays or because we were always together. They always said you were so pretty and well-mannered. Perfect.
I'm not perfect.
Chi looks at the neatly folded stack of clothes Fung made. Cut to interior, Auntie Kim's house, kitchen, later. Auntie Kim mixes egg batter in a large bowl for the bon sao. She pours the mixture onto a heavy black iron skillet. She places cooked shrimp, minced pork, and bean sprouts on the batter as it sizzles. She folds it into an omelet and garnishes the crispy crepe with mint, chili, and wok cham. Auntie Kim places 2 finished dishes in front of Chi and Fung and Chi and Fung sit and begin eating. Fung winces while taking a bite of food.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Auntie Kim sits down and pours the nuoc cham on her bon sao. Kim notices her niece is not eating.
Oh, are you not hungry, dear? You must eat. It keeps you strong and keeps your spirit up.
Uncle D lumbers into the kitchen and makes a plate of food.
See? Look at your ankle, big and strong, like an ox.
Interior, Wynn house, dining room, day. Con reads a newspaper. Carol does homework. They both sit at the dining room table. Across the counter, Fung makes spaghetti and meatballs in the kitchen.
How did Chi seem?
Fine. Kind of out of it, I guess.
They must be giving her a high dosage of antipsychotics. Those keep you pretty cloudy.
Fung makes a salad cutting cherry tomatoes with a knife.
We got a call from Carol's school today.
What happened?
Con looks at Carol, her to speak, but she just stares at her homework.
She hit a classmate.
What?
The girl was teasing her.
All the kids make fun of me.
That's not an excuse. You know better than that.
Why not? You hit me.
Don't talk back. I'm your mother.
The doorbell rings. Fung glares at Carol. She tries to subdue her rage. Con gets up to answer it.
Oh, Min, it's good to see you.
Fung turns surprised. Carol gets up from her chair.
Uncle Min!
Min Pham, 30s Vietnamese, wears a pinstriped business suit accented by a gold chain and a silver Rolex. He has a lot of product in his hair. Carol runs over and hugs her uncle.
My favorite niece.
Min kisses Carol on the cheek.
How's my princess?
Good.
You want some gum?
Min takes out a pack of gum, which Carol grabs and runs into her room.
Hey, not all of it.
We're going to continue this talk later. Don't think we'll forget.
Bad timing.
Can't help. You can't keep coming over unannounced.
Oh, you always say I don't come over enough, so just came to see Ma. Is that so bad?
How about she lives with you?
No. Join us for dinner, man. You want a beer?
No, thanks. I'm just stopping by to see Ma.
Min heads to Hal's room, but turns back.
I'll have a beer, though.
Cut to interior Wynn house, Hal's room, day. Min sits with his mother. He takes a sip from a bottle of Heineken. He holds his mother's hand.
Hi, Ma. How are you feeling?
Long, is that you?
Oh, Ma. It's your only son. Min.
Long, I'm so sorry. It should have been me.
What are you talking about, Ma? Pa passed away, right? Don't you remember?
It should have been me
What should have been you?
on the boat.
Stop bringing up the past, Ma. It's not healthy.
Long, you would be proud. Bonnet is a doctor, and our son Ming. He looks just like you now. He's all grown up. You should see him. He's a lawyer. We left you at sea,
Ah, enough.
and now you're coming back.
Cut to interior Wynn house, kitchen, later. Min walks out of Hal's room scratching the back of his head. Bung grates Parmesan onto a bowl of pasta.
How was she? Stay for dinner. There's a ton of food.
Spaghetti and meatballs? No thanks. Yo, I have to go back to the office.
Working late?
Con, can I speak to you outside for a minute?
Sure.
The two go out to the front of the house. Bung quietly sneaks around the corner, snooping on what the two men are saying. Cut to exterior Wynn house, front yard, day. It's evening. The two watch the street lamps turn on and cars passing by. Min lights his cigarette.
Yeah. I need to borrow some money, brother.
How much?
Well, how much you have on you?
Not a lot.
Come on. You're the most frugal man I know. A successful pharmacist. You know, I need the money today.
Why?
I owe some people.
You borrowed money from me last month. What have you gotten yourself into, man?
I paid you back. I always repay my debts. I get paid at the end of the next week with interest.
Khan takes out his wallet, shaking his head while counting the bills, which is about $200. Min takes the money from his brother-in-law.
There's a nice house you have here, Khan. An American dream, huh?
Cut to interior Min's car, 405 freeway, night. Min speeds in his silver BMW coupe. He crosses illegally over from the carpool lane and crosses the 3 more lanes before exiting off of Westminster Boulevard. Cut to exterior Tran family bar and billiards, night. The BMW pulls into a parking lot of another little Saigon strip mall. Min lights another cigarette on his way toward toward the billiard hall. Cut to interior Tran family bar and billiards, night. Min weaves through the pool hall. He waves and nods at people he recognizes. A bartender sees Min and instantly sighs.
I thought you lost all your money.
Hey, get me some change. All right, I'll have a beer too.
Cut to interior Tran family bar and billiards, back room, night. Min enters a back room where there are a bunch of Vietnamese people, mostly men, smoking cigarettes at different gambling tables. Each table is playing a different game. Tien Len, the national card game of Vietnam, Saigon 5, Vietnamese poker, Tien Gao, Vietnamese dominoes. There's even a mahjong table in the corner. Min sits at a table of familiar faces playing Tien Len. Among them are Lanny and Bing, both 30s, dangerous looking, especially Bing, who is a giant. They grin at each other when they see Min.
Deal me in.
Cut to interior Wynn house, Carol's room, night.
Race you.
Bung chases Carol from the bathroom into Carol's bed.
Oh man, you beat me. Ready for bed? Hey, I'm sorry about earlier. I shouldn't have yelled at you, but you can't really hit people. That's unacceptable, right? And I'm upset you didn't talk to me about yesterday. You just kept it in.
I told you, I don't like the school. I don't like the kids there.
I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it now, but I promise you, it's for the best. Okay?
Ma, are you scared of Grandma?
Why would I be scared of her, sweetie?
Or What she did to you?
What do you mean?
Grandma thought I was you today.
Huh? What did she say?
She said that they're all coming back. Everyone. What does she mean?
Nothing, sweetie. You know, Grandma hasn't been acting like herself.
Is that why she cries at night?
That's why she cries at night. Does it bother you?
Sometimes. I wish I could help her.
Me too, sweetie. But we are helping her. We're here to make sure nothing bad happens to her, right?
Can I sleep with you guys tonight? I've been having scary dreams lately.
Why don't you try to sleep in here? If you have a nightmare, we're just right down the hall, okay? Love you, sweet. Good night.
Night, Mommy.
Cut to interior Win house, bedroom, night. Khan reads a book in bed. Fung is in the bathroom washing her face.
I can't believe she hit someone. That's just so unlike her. Muted.
She's just having a hard time at school. We just need to be patient. Things will get better as she gets used to it.
I know. I keep telling her that. But she's been talking back more and more.
She already acts older than her age, and she'll be a teenager soon. Don't you remember being that age?
And you need to stop giving handouts to my brother.
He's family. You can't turn your back on family.
But he has the money. He's just an idiot with it.
Khan does not respond and continues reading. She winces at her back molar, a painful toothache. Cut to interior Win house, bedroom, night. The digital alarm clock on Khan's nightstand reads 3:19 a.m. before going blank, as does the light in all of the house. House cries slowly drifts in from the other room.
Somebody help me. Help me, please.
Come on, go. It's your turn.
Khan slides slowly out of bed. Interior Win house, hallway, continuous. He creeps half asleep out into Hal's room like a zombie.
Ma, it's okay. I'm here. Don't be afraid.
Van, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry we had to leave you. We sent for you. We sent you letters looking for you every day you were gone.
Cut to interior Win house, Carol's room, continuous. Carol lays awake in bed. She looks at the slightly open door out in the hallway.
It's Can, your son-in-law. It's okay, Ma. Go back to sleep.
Long, they're here. Long, what's the children?
Relax, How? You're home with us. You're safe here.
Cut to interior Win house, bedroom, continuous. Fung lays awake in bed. She's also staring at the door leading into the hallway. The wind outside howls, shaking the trees outside.
No, Long, they're taking them. They're taking food.
Enough, Ma.
Fung shivers in bed. She's crying. Hal becomes quiet. The wind dies down. Fung sighs in relief. Fung hears Khan's footsteps and relaxes. The door to Hal's room squeaking open and close. Fung stares out into the dark hallway waiting for Khan to return, but instead, a dark figure enters the room. This is a different man than before. He is younger, with darker skin, tattoos covering his body. There's a bloody gash across his neck. The dark figure smiles, revealing silver-plated teeth. Fung is paralyzed in terror. We see her screaming, but we do not hear anything. The dark figure crawls into bed with Fung. She thrashes at it with her legs and arms. Smash cut to interior Win house, bedroom, morning. Fung still kicking and screaming. Khan grabs both of her wrists, trying to subdue her.
Fung! Fung! Fung!
Eyes, trying to see the morning light filtering into the bedroom. She's crying and out of breath.
You had a nightmare.
Fung relaxes, regaining her senses. Han lets go of her and gets up to look at himself in the bathroom mirror.
You crushed my face.
Han looks in the mirror, seeing the bloody cut.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Cut to interior optometrist office exam room day. In the dark exam room, Mr. Thompson, 60s white, sits in the observation chair next to Fung. Fung places droplets into Thompson's eyes. His dark pupils widen.
Is it gonna make your eyes dilate?
It's glaucoma. I just know it. My father and granddad both had it. Isn't this stuff inherited, you know, like through your genes?
Yes, it's likely. You might be right, but we still need to do an eye exam to make sure. Then I can refer you to a specialist.
Aren't you the specialist?
Fung goes over to the window.
I'm going to turn on the lights and open these blinds. I just want to warn you because your eyes are very sensitive right now, okay?
Fung slowly opens the blinds. Something catches her eyes across the street. Fung sees Hao standing in the middle of the street. Traffic whirls past her. Cut to exterior optometrist office later. Fung rushes out the door and onto the street.
Ma?
Sweating and out of breath, Fung looks everywhere, but Hao is nowhere to be seen. Sandra follows her outside, concerned.
Fung, is everything okay?
Fung tries to straighten herself out, pretending as if nothing happened.
Yeah, everything is fine. Sorry, I thought I saw someone I know.
Cut to interior elementary school cafeteria day. Carol sits at a lunch table eating out of her Pokemon lunchbox by herself. She eats from a Tupperware container of cubed chow lao, Vietnamese bologna over rice and soy sauce. A group of white kids walk up to her, examining her lunch.
Ew, what are you eating?
It smells.
What is that?
Carol turns red with embarrassment.
Is that dog? Isn't that what you people eat?
The kids are laughing when suddenly Carol's lunch starts rumbling on its own. Only Carol notices this. Her lunchbox flies up and hits boy number 2. Food splatters all over. The boy falls down hurt. The other kids look at Carol before running away to get help.
Help! Carol's throwing food!
We saw it happen.
Carol turns and looks out of the cafeteria window. She smiles as if she sees a familiar face. Cut to interior elementary school principal's office day. Fung and Khan sit solemnly across the desk of Principal Wagner, 40s, white.
This is the second time Carol has been violent in school. The first time, she smacked the student in the head, and now she threw her lunchbox and broke another kid's nose. I don't need to remind you how serious this offense is.
Of course.
And we have a 3-strike policy.
I'm aware.
We're suspending Carol for the rest of the week. If there's another incident, we have no choice but to expel her. Is that understood?
Wagner looks past them through a window where Carol sits in a lobby reading a book.
I'm surprised, to be honest. Meeting Carol at her entrance interview, you wouldn't expect her to be so violent. You both seem calm and professional. A nice bunch of people. You know, good minorities. What do you think is happening to Carol? Is there trouble in the home?
No, nothing that I can think of. We'll talk to her and maybe find a counselor or something.
That's a good idea. I have some references, if you like.
Thank you.
Carol has mentioned that she's been experiencing some bullying here.
Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing this. Bullying? From who?
Well, I can't imagine she's doing this totally unprovoked. She isn't violent.
I don't deny this. Kids can be mean.
It's because she's Asian.
Well, that's a more serious accusation. Racism isn't tolerated here either. Miss Nguyen, the pronunciation is Gugin? There are other Asian kids in this school, and we haven't heard of any complaints from them. Now, I'll look into this, but all evidence has pointed to Carol being the aggressor here. So let's focus on Carol.
Cut to interior Fung's car, 405 freeway, day. Fung drives, Khan is in the passenger seat. Carol sits in the back with her arms crossed.
I didn't do anything.
Stop it. We'll talk about it when we get home.
It was Bangoy. I saw her at school.
Grandma has a broken hip. She can't even leave the house. She can't even get out of bed.
Fung stares out into traffic.
So what? You saw her at school and then what? She hurt that kid?
I don't know what happened. It flew up on its own.
Now you're just making up stories. They're not even believable.
You never listen to me.
Keep raising your voice. See what happens. See what happens when we get home.
What? Are you gonna hit me?
Carol, stop.
No wonder I'm so violent. It's because of you.
Enough.
Shut up!
Are you gonna lock me in the closet like Grandma did to you?
Shut up now!
Fung turns to Carol, fuming with rage. She's about to reach over and strike her when
Fung!
red brake lights in front of them. Fung slams on the brakes. Everyone's heads jerk forward. A crash. Fung's Civic has smashed into the rear of a silver Lexus.
Are you okay? Carol, are you okay?
Khan opens the car door and inspects the damage. The Lexus driver, 50s white, is already outside.
Fucking idiot. Can't you see through those small eyes of yours? You people are the worst fucking drivers.
Sorry. My wife wasn't paying attention. I am so sorry.
Fung and Carol watch the white man berate Khan. They are humiliated. Interior, Fung's car, Wynn house, later. The newly dented Civic pulls into the driveway. There's a red Geo Metro already parked in the driveway.
Is that Cheese car?
I don't know.
Interior, Wynn house, entrance, day. Fung, Carol, and Khan enter the house. They see Chi sitting at the kitchen table with the telephone, her eyes filled with tears when she looks at Fung.
I've been trying to reach her at work.
Auntie Kim could be heard crying from Hal's room.
Auntie Kim? Ma?
Auntie Kim runs out and meets Fung. She sobs uncontrollably.
He's gone. She wasn't breathing. She must have gone in her sleep.
From Carol's perspective, we see Fung in shock, putting her arm around Auntie Kim as she weeps loudly.
She's finally at peace.
Cut to
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank